Well, hello, my beautiful and wonderful collective. How are you? It's really good to see you again and to be reading for you again. I'm sorry, I've been so busy. Like, life has been very busy. Shamanic work has just gone up a notch. Also just getting things together. I've also started making shamanic tools. It's something that I did anyway, and now I've started to make them. And I'm really loving that process. So there's just a lot of stuff that's kind of going on creatively. And yeah, I just felt that I had to do this second reading that was one that followed on from the last one. And it's been over 2 weeks. So I was like, no, I've got to do it. I've got to give you this beautiful knowledge. So here we are. I'm very sorry that I've been away, but I've missed you. I've missed doing readings, and I have got some new decks to play with. So yeah, we can do that in this episode now, or in this reading. Now, I said that this is a follow-on from the last one, which is about who is admiring you from afar. So this one is about how can you invoke more love into your life? How can you bring more love into your life? So we've got 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is this gorgeous ruby. Ruby. Why was I going pile 3? Pile 2 is this lovely RUBELITE. It's a bit of a silly mood. I don't know what's going on. Currently it's a new moon in Virgo, so maybe I'm just going a bit stir crazy in my head because of that. And pile 3 is this gorgeous rose quartz. So you have 3 piles to choose from. You don't have to watch the other reading, but it's nice because I think it'll be interesting if you watch that and then you watch this one. It kind of helps you to accept the knowledge from the other one, because you need to make space in your life to have love in your life. And if you're coming from a place of need or a place of scarcity, it tends to not want to sow itself and bloom. Whereas if we know what we need to do in order to make that space available for love to come in our lives, whatever way it is. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic love. It could be love it could be with your family, with siblings, with friends. It could be already when you're in a relationship and you're trying to invoke some more love or a better kind of sense of lovingness and kindness within your relationship. I'm also going to include compassion within this, because I think that that's a really important factor for those of you that are not really considering like the love aspect. Is how can you invoke more compassion and love in your life? So that will also be covered in this reading. Anyway, as I said, 3 piles to choose from: ruby, RUBELITE, and rose quartz. Timestamps will be in the description box below, as always, my darlings, and I shall see your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. God, this feels so good because I haven't been here for a while doing a reading for you. And I haven't really felt the need to do a reading, but I really feel now I've been itching to do it. So here we are. Rough around the edges is what I'm getting from this ruby that you've picked. And the thing is that the ruby is one of the most precious and ancient stones that we have that are used by humans, and they're used in crowns. They're used in all forms of royalty. It's a high vibrational stone, you know. So what that means exactly is that it resonates on a higher plane. It resonates in a way and connects to the divine in a way that is vibrationally different to, say, something like a garnet or something like a tourmaline, or the other pink stones that we have, or other different pink stones, say for example like a pink sapphire or something. And funnily enough, sapphire is very similar structurally to a ruby, but it's a different stone. I don't know exactly what's the difference, but I do know that they look very similar in terms of structure. Now, this one in particular is something called a record keeper. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see like these beautiful triangles? And that's the thing I love about rough rubies. I do also have another one, which is divine. This one here, which as you can see, this is just, but this one wanted to come out and play. And also, you know, I wanted them to all be the same size. So that's really interesting. I wanted them all to be the same size in your selection for reading. So there may be some element of you trying to fit into, like being a round peg trying to fit into a square hole, or a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. Because the first thing that I got was like this roughness of this ruby. And this ruby is so special and so beautiful that you can't fit it into anything. And it has a very special composition with all of those triangles, all of those record keepers. So there's something about your level of experience that is very special and very unique. And that needs to be valued explicitly in order for you to be able to have love in your life. Because if you don't love what you are, and I know this is so cheesy, so don't come for me. If you don't love who you are, then how is anybody else going to do it? So I think it's really important for you to remember that this, you know, this is a thing of real beauty. If the camera decides to focus, there we go. I think, focus. Like, it's really important for you. You're seeing all of my rings. They're all like bent out of shape because I wear them all the time. I've got ruby here. This is a ruby as well. I don't normally wear rings on my readings, and my nails haven't been done, but I've been working with I've been doing like work, like making tools and stuff. So I haven't been able to have like the glamorous nails that I normally do. So I apologize. But that's the whole thing. Like, there's a roughness to this ruby, but it is one of the most precious stones that is used in crowns, in jewels all over the world. I just recently went to the British Museum, which is kind of the place where colonialist Britain robbed all of the other countries and brought it to their own country and then put it in the museum. Unfortunately, we can see it for free. So I went there, and then there was a big exhibition with lots of jewelry from India, and there was some gorgeous crowns with completely laden with rubies. All rubies. Rubies is to do with the heart as well, like the higher level heart. So you're looking at the not the spiritual heart chakra, but the deep heart chakra, the anahata chakra. So there's 3 chakras in the heart. There's a higher level, which is a spiritual level heart chakra. Then you have the lower chakra, which is more to do with sexuality and sexual love. And then you have the middle heart chakra, which is what this is connected with, to do with universal love. And this is and also love for the self. And this is connected to that. So there's something about a deep need to embrace that sense of self, really. Like, really truthfully, even though it's so rough. And I've just spent a good 5 minutes chatting about that. So it's clearly quite important. Let's see what your card has to say. Oh, wow. Unorthodox approach. I love this card. It's beautiful. So the thing that this gets me, that strikes me is, you know, octopi, I don't know. They are very highly intelligent creatures, and they have very strange ways of being able to get into spaces, to do things. They are emotionally intelligent creatures, which we totally underestimate. So I think that you will introduce love into your life, and love will also come to you in your life in a really unorthodox way. So I think that that's really important to consider. But I'm curious. Let's have a look at what the other cards have to say, and then we can take it from there, because I'm curious about this. The number 8 might also be quite important. Like the 8th door, the 8th way, the 8th floor, something like that. There's something, the 8th day. Like, what is the 8th day? We don't have 8 days, but it might be the 8th, might be the 28th, might be the 18th, might be the 17th. It might be anything that adds up to the number 8, 25th. Yeah, keep an eye out for those numbers, dates. Interesting, 7th house. I was thinking, oh, why is it 8th house? But then I realised 7th house is the house of relationships. So we're winning, my loves. We're winning. So this is definitely to do with how you approach other people. And I think that the way that you're going to, and this is, not just other people, your personal relationships. So for those of you that are not really looking for a personal relationship, maybe this kind of gives you an idea of how you relate to others in your personal relationships or with you, even if you're not looking. But that idea of like you relating to someone is going to play an important part in you being able to introduce more love into your life, because trust me, we could all do with introducing more love into our lives, regardless of whether or not we're looking for it. So let's have a little look at some other cards. But yeah, I do definitely feel like your approach, it's going to be very unusual for you, pile 1. It's not going to be the norm, because even your ruby has, your stone has said that. But it's very deep, it's very passionate, it's very special. Not to say that like the other stones aren't, but this is something so unique that it deserves this unorthodox approach. Oh, a dot. And it's reversed. That's the card. I'm just going to have a quick look at it because I'm not so well versed on the palmistry, but let me just have a little look at the book. Well, that's really nice. The whole thing about a dot is about that we have reached the pinnacle of a situation, and that this situation has come to a point. That means that you're able to move through it, you're able to get through it, or that you've got to a point where things need to change. Now, it did come up reversed, pile 1. So something is telling me that you may not feel very hopeful about your instances in love and with people. I mean, the thing I'm getting here, right, is that you might have a bit of a lack of faith with other people. You may think, what is the point of me interacting with other people, because they don't seem to like who I am. They don't seem to like what I'm going for. They don't seem to really like value who I am. So why should I bother? That's what I'm getting here. Not gonna lie. So yeah. Oh, I mean, I hear it, pile 1. I hear it. So let's have a little look with the tarot. No, I want to use these ones. Let's have a look with the tarot and see what it is saying about, like, you know, your current view, and then we'll look at how you can introduce more love into your life. Because I think that the majority of people who are watching this reading are looking for a significant other, or they're looking at least at something romantic, because 7th house is all about that. And I think there is a desire, I think there is a desire to kind of do that, to want to instigate that in your life. But there may not be, like, you may not know how to. That's what I'm getting. Just saw the 3 of Swords upright and the 6 of Wands reversed. So there's still some like ego work that needs to be done. And how maybe past failures have impacted your own, you know, your attitude towards it. I'm so here for this. I hear this reading so hard. As I said, my lovely pile, my lovely collective, you understand clearly. For those of you who've been here before, I tend to resonate with pile 1, and I'm hearing this so hard. So yeah. Oh, 5 of Cups. All right. 5 of Cups. Look at that. This is what I love about the Five of Cups. Like, even though we've got like this 3, which is like, oh, I haven't had like much social interaction, but look, there is a relationship that's waiting for you. There is something. 5 of Wands. Okay, reversed. Strength reversed. I hear that. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, right. Do I want another one? Yeah, go on. Make it look pretty. Ooh, okay. Oh, right. I'm going to just put that here like that so that we know what it is, but yeah. Anyway, so basically you've had to become quite stoic in your attitude towards this, towards all of this. And I think it might even be with friendships as well. It seems just like with all relationships, you are just kind of like done. You're done with anything that wants to make you weak. You're done with any kind of conflict. You're just done with it. The only thing is that it seems like you may be a little bit addicted to solitude. So I think, or the kind of like stoicism that is there. So please do, this is what's happening. So you've got this kind of like stoic nature. And what gets me about this particular Queen of Swords is that she still has the sword going right through her heart. Yes, the sword is like, yes, the heart is burning. And yes, I hear that. And that's lovely. But the devil is behind her. So then there may be this kind of like obsession, or not even obsession, but like maybe, I don't know, I'm just seeing the chains that I hear. So there is a little bit of like maybe self-flagellation in the respect of like thinking that, you know, maybe you don't think that there are good enough people out there to really connect with you properly. And I mean, I got that from looking at this stone. Like, I didn't need the cards to tell me that. But as soon as as I was thinking about your reading just before I started recording, I was thinking, this is somebody who is really like, you know, it's a ruby in the rough. It's that idea of like, I'm in a rough place and nobody really gets me. And you've done a hell of a lot of work on yourself, you know, you've done a lot of work on yourself, but you've been in a lot of bullshit situations, which is kind of maybe not, I wouldn't even say just, you know, it severely dampened your confidence, I feel. And you're working on it. You're trying to work with others to build up that sense of confidence. But, you know, obviously you're the Queen of Swords. So, you know, you may be going through your own things, and maybe there may be even a point where you're actually understanding these are the places where you need to improve. It might be that's where this reading's come in, that, you know, you understand that you've been in this rut for a while. You may have been single for a long time. You may have been like alone for a long time. And now you want to branch out and you want to connect with others. But it's like, how do you're slowly trying to build this back up. And that's why this is only the 3 of Pentacles rather than the 10 or the 9. Or the 8 even, because we're still at the beginning. So that's kind of what I'm getting. But there has been a lot of conflict that's really disempowered you. So, I mean, babe, I totally understand it. I really do. Okay, so with that being said, what's this unorthodox approach that we need to look at? How do we get over this? How do we move through this? How do we introduce more beautiful love into my wonderful Pile One's life and really shine like a ruby? Okay. Oh, lovely. I love these cards so much. Okay, that's the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. So I think there is someone coming for sure. And I think it may be someone younger. I've got a feeling that the youth or something young will inspire you to be more open towards love in your life. It could be somebody younger. It more than likely is a person that's younger, or it may be like a story or something that you remembered when you were a child, something that really inspired you to believe in love, and that will help you to move through that sadness. We've got the Three of Cups. Okay. I mean, I'm really getting a strong friendship vibe here, pile 1. Like, it might be that you were friends with people and, you know, they ostracized you, or maybe something happened and you fell out, or like you've fallen out with the group dynamic, or whatever it is. But I feel that, you know, there was conflict with 3. It could also be a third party situation, romantically. But I'm also thinking that, like, with friends and stuff like that, for those of you who are not looking at this romantically. So there has been menage a trois, interesting things going on. It's not been harmonious at all. So I think when you understand that it hasn't been harmonious and how much it's actually played on your emotions, that's almost like working with that dot energy. So it's like understanding I've got to this point and I'm not going to go any further with that. I'm going to see the red flags that kind of pull me towards those situations that involve me with people that put me into that kind of like Three of Cups reverse situation, and move through it. Okay, what's going on? Oh, that took a bit of time to come out. Knight of Wands. Okay. Knight of Wands. And then we have the High Priestess reversed. Okay. So with the Knight of Wands, I think that, you know, it's really about, you have to kind of go for it. You have to kind of put yourself out there and be willing to be vulnerable again. There is a way of being vulnerable. High Priestess reverse kind of tells me about somebody who's like trying to get out there, but then there's a way of doing it. And I think it's important to make sure that, you know, you kind of like just are really mindful about that. The fact that these two came out together, though, does tell me, like, if you're, and don't take this the wrong way, if you're whoring it about a bit, that might be something as well that might help. Like, it might be if you do choose to go and sleep with a few people to kind of like help yourself, that might be very beneficial for you. I'm not like advocating sleeping around, but I don't know, the Knight of Wands, maybe it's just not even more, that's the extreme that it kind of like registers in my head, but it could mean that you get back out there and you start dating again. You could be out there and putting yourself out there, even though you're going to be connecting with people that you may not be very, you know, emotionally connected to. You might just have to go and play the field a bit and just get yourself back out there in order to build some foundations. But let's have a look. The last card. Okay, right. The Chariot. Okay, so there's definitely movement. Okay, we've got 2 cards. Fabulous. So, yeah, we've got the Chariot. God, these cards are so gorgeous. And we've got the 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely having to move out of your comfort zone. You have to move out of the space where you've made for yourself and get out there, quite literally. I think I want to put it like that, actually, because that Chariot card is just so beautiful. Yeah, I think it's important for you to get out there. And I've got a feeling, right, pile 1, that even if you don't want to put yourself out there and say, yeah, I'm here, everyone, you know, kind of thing, I think you might have to have that mindset. That's probably what's more important than you actually doing it. It's like just literally attuning yourself to the universe and making yourself like, right, okay, I'm out there. I want to be out there and I want to do this and I want to kind of be with this energy. Does that make sense? Okay, right. So let's have a quick look at some other astrology. So I think that's pretty straightforward, you know, just kind of work with, you know, things that really inspired your loving nature when you were young. Accept the things that didn't work in the past. Make sure that you kind of go over things in a way and you know, be willing to, I wouldn't say get hurt, right? I mean more kind of like, you know, put yourself out there. It's gonna, you know, a willingness to be vulnerable again. I think that's the important thing. And then I think things will move really fast for you. I mean, the Chariot reversed, I mean, the Chariot upright means that that's going to happen anyway. So this also could mean that you're getting offers, right? It could mean that you're getting offers. You can still flirt. You can still be friendly. You can still do your thing, Pile 1. Doesn't mean that you have to, like, you know, take it up. But I think the mindset is what's important here. Okay, so we've got Saturn, Neptune here. So Saturn, Neptune, and again, we've got the number 8, which was what I was talking about earlier, 53. So Saturn, Neptune, Saturn is hard lessons, but in allowing our intuition with the beauty of Neptune to kind of like free flow into that space, because Neptune is just is absolute abandon. Like, you can't control Neptune, but the Saturn is everything about control. So you've got this dynamic where you're having to like balance everything. And this is the Queen of Swords energy, balancing everything that you know and you understand and you've learned, and then allowing yourself to just like almost drown in the in that beauty and that sense of self. It's like allowing yourself to swim and go deep sea diving, because you know that you know how to breathe properly underwater. You've got to have confidence that you can swim in this water. That's what it, like, not drown, but you know what I mean? Like, completely allow yourself to be submerged in this beauty, and the possibility of whatever can happen. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. I know what I mean. But yeah. I mean, the thing is that there's a difficulty here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is difficult because you've got two opposing energies there. But Neptune, but your Saturn is, Saturn is structure, systems. Neptune is the sea. Neptune is the oceans, the deep oceans, the real sense of emotion. So I think just keeping that in mind will help you to be able to traverse those quite interesting spaces so that you can really kind of delve into this unorthodox approach. And it's really interesting because we've got that octopus there. So there may be something for you to learn from octopus energy, that whole idea of being able to stretch out, to change colors, to change ideals, not values, but we're talking about morphing into different, like understanding different energies and using your experience to help you navigate those spaces that you enter into so that you can see what's right for you. Because I think that's where that lies. That's where the love is going to lie for you. That's how you're going to expand yourself, I feel. Okay, so we've got these are like famous figures from history and stuff. So let's see which one you got. Queen Victoria, love it. Okay, I would venture to warn against too great an intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. Love it. No girl would go to the altar if she knew all. Don't we know it? And the important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. Love it. So, Queen Victoria was amazing. And she had a wonderful relationship with her husband, King Albert. So I would venture to warn against too great an intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. You know this, right? Don't fall for people that seem to be all that. You know what I mean? Like, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And that whole thing of like, if somebody's trying to like come to you in a certain way, like with this high priestess energy, you know the score. And that's probably why you've kind of stayed away from things. So it will come again, and that lesson will come again, so that it can make sure that you don't fall for it again. These people don't stop coming to you, by the way. Players don't stop coming. And people who are out for themselves, they don't stop coming. It's just how you navigate around them. So, and these people, they may be not that way with others. They may be that way with you. I don't know. It's just something about the energy. So just really understand that. And I think that that's what that's saying. No girl would go to the altar if she knew all. So I think there's something to do about the mystery and really respecting the sense of mystery that you have about people. You don't need to know everything about everyone. So just be mindful of that when you're going out there and really exploring your options. And with friends, I'm talking about this is with everyone, like all relationships. So yeah. And then the last one is the important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. Isn't it? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Wow, that's a great card. I'm learning a lot from this part of one. I hope you are too. Anyway, right, let's have a look at your final card. It's been a great reading. Have you enjoyed it? I've really enjoyed it. Every time I do a read, I've been away for a while and then I come back, I'm just like, oh my God, I've loved it so much. Why do I leave it until so long? But it's called being busy, isn't it? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's get your last card. Pile one. Oh, love it. There is a reason that you have those dreams. This deck is so cool. I love it. And they're all listed down below, so do check them out. So the Mystic, Intuition, High Priestess, and Visionary. I've got a feeling, right? Okay, so what I would say, pile one, is that you've learned a lot, okay? I feel like you are seasoned professionals. I feel like you are people who know what they're doing, what they're talking about. They've been there, got the t-shirt, all the rest of it. The mug, keychain, group photo, all the rest of it. So I feel what's going on here is that you've got to be really cautious that that knowledge doesn't turn against you and cause, and or either like the fact that it makes you too stoic and not being able to like get into the flow of things and allow the new opportunities to come your way, and also that you don't just abandon it and get back into the same thing, because trust me, that happened to me like not recently, but that happened to me. Even though I thought that I knew all the red flags about someone, I went straight back into something. Thank God it didn't last too long, but it took me a long time to heal. So it just helps you to really remember that you are amazing, you are fantastic, you are a ruby in the rough, who has tantamount incredible amounts of knowledge and wisdom and experience that somebody is going to find irresistible, including friends, including just people. So just remember that about yourself. Take care with yourself and be selective. Just be discerning. Listen to your intuition. Intuition is a big thing here. So listen to it. I hope you enjoyed that, my friends. If you like that, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, this has been an absolute joy to get back into and do. I love this reading. And yeah, if you like and comment, the algorithm can find it. So please do that. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this, or day. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this pink RUBELITE. Feeling like a deep sense of passion. It's almost like you want to reignite your passion in terms of being able to introduce more love into your life. You are having to maybe search quite deep. It may be quite difficult to find like where your passion is. You may have found that there hasn't been that much passion previously, and you have to kind of like look in, it's there, it's very clearly there that your passion is to find love in whatever form in your life, but it seems that it takes an effort to kind of like really notice it. Does that make sense? That's what I'm feeling by this. Because, I remember when I got this piece of like RUBELITE, I really liked it. And I was going to make it into a pendant because I make pendants as well. But, you know, the pieces of RUBELITE that are here, pink tourmaline, they're very highly prized in terms of like jewelry. So if these bits were on their own, they could be possibly used, they could be like gem quality. Do you know what I mean? But because it's kind of grown in this matrix, it's almost like, you know, you kind of get this as well as that. So even though it's quite obvious that there is RUBELITE there, it feels that, you know, you've got to kind of work hard to get at it. And I feel that that might be your attitude to love right now, and love being introduced into your life. Now, do remember that this is not just for romantic love. This is for platonic love, for love between families, parents, friends, all of it. So this isn't, but I get like a more passionate, there's something about passion here. So let's have a look. Wow, it is time. It is time. Okay, right. By the way, I was quoting Rafiki from The Lion King, if you didn't know. So, which is interesting. So, it's time for you to move forward, to go into a space where you can feel that you are more in alignment with your love for yourself, pile 2. It feels that way. I feel a little bit compelled to like light up some other candles that are around my altar here. Or not altar, it's my workspace really. Sorry for the shake there. But it's interesting because it's almost like it's time for you to really take note of your, while I burn myself, take note of what you're supposed to be really doing right now in order to introduce this kind of like love into your life. Another little shake there, sorry about that. I'm faffing around and I can't, I'm trying to light a candle basically. But I don't even know if there is a candle in it. Maybe that's significant. Like you need to have a look first. Yes, there is a candle here. Here it is. This is what I'm supposed to be trying to light with like an incense, the bottom of an incense stick. Sorry, me doing my resourcefulness on camera. I usually would turn off the camera, or at least stop it, but I don't know, there's something significant about this, about you light it. It's time for you to step into that place where you are ready to accept love. Maybe all that faffing about was indicative of like maybe something that you're doing to distract yourself. Maybe I'm just projecting, I don't know. But I'm just reading the cards, baby. That's all I'm doing. Anyway. Let's see. Wow. Eris. Okay. Eris, I don't know too much about. And I know, always the cards that I don't really know that much about, she comes out, they come out. The cards, yeah, these cards don't come out. These cards come out. So let me have a little look. Eris. Eris is an asteroid. The Destroyer. Oh boy, okay, right. So, Eris the Destroyer. You ready? So, the number 3, daggers, adder, torches, and the golden apples. It was Eris's jealousy that set off the famous Trojan War, upset that she was not invited to the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. The goddess went into a hysterical rampage, encouraging men to fight one another, which quickly spiraled into madness. It was an overreaction on her part, but she showed that she lives up to her reputation as a spiteful and petty goddess. So, presiding over karmic retribution, Judgment is not always sound. So feeling jealous and anger. Okay, right. Jealous, anger, bitterness, karma, vengeance, reflection. Okay, right. That's interesting because I thought that would have come up with group 1, but okay. Let me pull some more cards and see what I can make out of this pile 2, because this, I don't know, it kind of resonates with the passionate side of things, but I don't know. Let me just have another look. This reminds me of Tower energy. Oh, Destiny. Okay, right, yeah. And it's reversed. So I think you're standing in your own way of being able to introduce some kind of love into your life. If I may be so bold, pile 2. It feels like that's, you know, you're standing in your own way. And it's time for you to get the heck out. Get out of your own way. Stop it. There may be some old patterning that you need to like get out of in order for you to like move on. I think you know this, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this reading. Or there is a part of you that's drawing you to this reading to hear this information. But even like the lead up to this point where I'm mentioning this, it was very, very procrastinating. It wasn't direct. And, you know, it's almost like there's like real potential here to be able to be something great, but unfortunately it just doesn't happen, or it's not happening for some reason. And that's because of some kind of like lower vibrational behavior that's happening. So there's something that there's almost a sense of standing in your own way as well. I just get that. But let's have a look at what the cards have to say. How can pile 2 bring more love into their life? How can pile 2 bring more love into their life? Interesting. Knight of Cups reversed. The Moon. Oh dear, I forgot about these cards. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Cups, the Moon, the Seven of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Interesting. So there is a relationship that's waiting for you. If you're not really looking for a relationship, there is a dynamic partnership that is occurring that is a blessing to you, a real blessing. So interesting how we have 3 of the Court cards. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a sense of dissatisfaction that's going on within you, pile 2, with your current situation, which is why I feel you're looking to change it. You're looking to make some kind of like different thing happen. And I totally get that. I totally understand. I think that there's almost a sense of complacency here. And maybe the complacency is causing one to not really want to make an effort within the space where they're in. That's what I'm getting. Maybe there is some kind of denial that, you know, I get the feeling with this group that you might already be in a relationship, or you might not be happy with the people that are around you. And you're trying to kind of figure out whether or not you need to make some new friends, or you need to go and do something different. I would say that you're on the right path because the Moon is there. So it says to me that there's time for something to change here. There's time for something to be very different here, particularly with this version of the Seven of Pentacles, because you've got Muladhara, Svadhisthana, all of the chakras here, but then she's holding the crown chakra. So there's this need to kind of like really go towards something that's bigger rather than kind of like stay with these other chakras. But with the King and Queen of Cups, I feel like there is some sense of like understanding. I would even say, go as far to say, you may have talked with your partner about this, or there may be someone within your social group that you know that you've talked to about, and they understand where you're coming from. You've got a really supportive kind of like thing, but it's just interesting with this Eris energy. And the Destiny reverse, there is this sense of like standing in one's own way. And maybe it's that Knight of Cups energy. Maybe it's you that's standing in your way to be able to do that. It may be even a sense of like not really like loving yourself as much as you could do. And it may be that there's an aspect of yourself that you don't really like anymore. And you might be not like liking yourself for it, and it's all about learning how to love yourself again for that, it feels like. 'Cause I can't really see really anything else in terms of that. There's just a dissatisfaction because everything seems pretty good. Not to say it isn't, but it says to me that I'm just thinking like, how do you bring more love into your life? And that's the only thing that I would say. Just being kinder to yourself. And also, I think in being kinder to yourself, it just helps you to be kinder to others. But you know this. I feel like you know this. Like you may not be consciously, directly conscious of the issue, but I feel like you know it. Okay, let's have a look at this Knight of Cups, just to clarify. Because, okay, how are we going to turn this around and bring more love into your life? But I think I've already kind of given you the answers. Let's just go over a kind of Knight of Cups. Pile 2 is always so quick after the pile 1. Pile 1 is always longer. I seem to ramble with pile 2. Sorry, pile 2. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the whole thing. There's this meandering kind of vibe that's going on. The Ace of Pentacles, okay. And then we've got 8 of Pentacles. Interesting. So interesting, we're looking at love, but we've got like these pentacles. Tell me about the 7 of Pentacles, please. Doesn't want to tell me about the 7 of Pentacles. Tell me. Okay. That was way too much. Ooh. Oh no. There we go. Can't see the lady parts, can we? Right, okay, so. Not like most of us haven't got them already. Anyway, just saying. I'm feeling frustrated, pile 2. Why am I feeling frustrated? I'm feeling like I'm just uncomfortable with something. It feels like I'm uncomfortable with a situation, but as in like that the situation's too perfect. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. And nothing's coming out. Look at that. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. All right then. Well, then that explains everything. Because then that means that things are... I think you're trying really hard to maintain some kind of stability within this situation, but I think that I'm not sure if you really enjoy the fact that you don't know what's going on. And I think that the key component to this is that you have to kind of let go of the fact that things may not be going the way that you expect it to be. I mean, also there's that sense where I'm getting that maybe some of you expected to be in a particular position and it hasn't occurred. It hasn't happened. So for example, some of you might have thought, oh yeah, I should have had the car, the job, the marriage, the kids, house, wife, husband, whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? By the way, do remember this is a general reading. So there are different people watching this reading. So if the message doesn't resonate with you, it might do for someone else. So just keep that in mind. And we've got the 5 of Cups here. Only one, please. This is already, I think, giving a little bit more clarity, because we've got really nice cups here, but the cups are the people. It's not really the situation. So it feels like there's been really kind of blissful situation or good situation. Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Do you remember what I was saying about the fact that when something is too kind of perfect and like, you know, maybe you want to, you know, you're bored? It almost feels like the boredom is giving way to maybe, like, if some of you are in a relationship, and please only take this if it resonates, some of you might be feeling about cheating or something. You might be thinking, oh yeah, like grass is greener kind of vibe. Because there's a lot of work here. There's a lot of pentacles here. So what I'm getting, right, this is the situation I'm seeing. Pile 2, I'm seeing someone who's within a really good emotional situation, but it's almost like it's too good. So it's almost like we need to make a problem. And with Eris here, the Page of Pentacles reversed here, it kind of says to me somebody who's, you know, got a bit of a wandering eye. For me, it's you. Do you know what I mean? Like with this in terms of a situation, because maybe there's this sense of like being in a situation where, you know, everything is really good and it can get boring. Or it could be that, I mean, actually that is what I see, to be fair, because emotional stability is there. Everything is there. But the excitement from the Knight, it's not quite the Knight of Wands, so in terms of sexual excitement, I'm not so sure, but still, there's a bit of a lack of romance, and it's been replaced with Ace of Pentacles. So what that says to me is that it's more of a, like the opportunity that's come across is something that's almost like work. So it could be that you're attracted to someone at work, and this is kind of like maybe igniting your passions, even though you have like a kind of a stable relationship or a stable thing that's going on at home, but it's not as exciting as the thing maybe at work. It's causing a big imbalance in terms of this Two of Pentacles. It could be that you may have been seeing someone and now it's time, you might have to come clean about it. That too as well. There is the 5 of Cups here, so it means to me that there is a choice here that needs to be made in terms of like the 2 cups that you need to stick around for. So what my advice here, it's interesting because it's gotten a lot more complicated than I thought. What I would say here is that you kind of like know what this situation is in terms of like what the consequences are. You do know, but I think maybe you kind of didn't really think about it or whatever. This is only for a few of you. But I think, yeah, if you want to introduce more love in your life, there's a way of that. You know, your awareness within this situation is going to be very valuable in terms of choosing your next action. For those of you who are not in a relationship, or this doesn't apply to, there's definitely this sense of replacing, like, replacing your emotional needs with material needs. It feels like maybe you've absorbed yourself in work, or you've absorbed yourself in a place where it actually really isn't addressing a balance. It's actually causing you to go out of balance. Or maybe this is something that you did because you were out of balance, and now you're realizing that it's not really as fulfilling as it was previously. And what I'd also see is that even though you do put this effort in to this space, it still won't get recognized as well as someone who actually, whoever it is that you're trying to impress, they just like. I hope that makes sense. It's quite a complicated situation, but it's just interesting. Those are the Those are the things that I'm seeing. There is a level of awareness, though, I feel. Like, you do know that there's something going on, and then it's not 100%. And either you know about it and you're choosing not to do something about it, or you know about it and you can't do something about it. That's what it feels like. And this is in relation to bringing more love into your life. You know why I mention this situation? Because it reminds me of a situation of a friend of mine who, I don't think she reads she watches my tarot, so I can tell you about it. But yeah, basically she was in a situation where she was like kind of she was looking after her partner, and they weren't physical for a long time, and she found it quite difficult to be physical with her partner because she was looking after him because he was depressed. So it kind of, it's that kind of thing where you love someone and you want to care for them, but then if they're not fulfilling your needs in that way, you look somewhere else, right? That's what I'm getting from this. But it's all about like understanding. It's so tricky, isn't it? It's not an easy situation to be in, but like it may cause us to act in ways that we're not really proud of. So yeah, it's just something to be aware of, pile 2. Anyway, let's see because I don't think there's any kind of resolution here. Yeah, it's a weird one. Wow, Moon and Venus. Okay. So, I mean, you may be developing feelings for someone. It may even be someone at work, or someone that you know. Maybe you want you're with someone and also you want to take it to the next level, but I don't know if everybody is on the same page in that respect. So just something to keep in mind for your safety, if you know what I mean, pile 2. And I feel like that it is time is about confronting the situation. Because maybe there's a belief about something being destiny. And actually, I don't know if it is. And it's weird because we've got the King of Cups and we've got the Queen of Cups here. But I don't know, with that Page of Pentacles reversed, I'm not really, and Aries, I'm just not really hot on thinking this is like, I mean, it could be that, this is difficult kind of, no, I'm sorry. It could be that you have some kind of like inkling with this person, and I think you may have thought that you were both soulmates. And there is something here, but there's also something that just, like with the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, that's like a lesser Temperance reversed, and the Page of Pentacles to me is always the player. Like that's someone who doesn't. Yeah, and we've got the Knight of Cups here reversed. So these are players. So there's a game that's going on here. Okay, really interesting. Plato, wow. Okay, so at the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. Love is simply the name for the desire and the pursuit of the whole. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. So what I'm getting from this pile too is that there is some big life lessons to learn here. Like there's some big life lessons to learn about certain things not working out and about how certain things are going. There's something to be learned here. What exactly? I have no idea. That's for you to figure out. But it is time. It is time for you to work this out. I think and this Moon and Venus, it's time to really go for what you want. Be honest about what you want. Don't people please. Don't try and please everyone. Secrets are not a good thing. Just Be honest. Okay, I'm going to close out your reading, pile 2, with, okay, you got 2 cards. And it hit the Page of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles, so definitely. Okay, so we've got potential and possibility, which is here. Future, highest self, and quantum. So it says there, number 5, reach out to the potential that is calling for you. And then we have, you're a badass. Darling, don't you remember? You're a badass. Keep winging it. The fairy blessings flow, magical energy. I mean, like, you've got some really fortunate cards here. So what I'm seeing here is that there's a real opportunity for you to move into a space where you can get rid of old patterning and old behavior and move into a better place to encourage yourself to not act in a way that you did previously. And that is its own thing, you know. Working through that process, being able to kind of move forward. Plato is very reflective. It's all stoicism. So it's, you know, it's about that sense of reflection, stepping back and being able to observe how your actions kind of reverberate with others, and how they, you know, you've got quite a lot here that's really good. Like, it's almost like you've got just such a good situation. Just be really careful with everybody else that's involved, pile 2. I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it, if that's the right word. And please do give it a thumbs up if you liked it, because it'll help the algorithm find this video and others can find it. And also, please do comment and share if you wish to. Otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this, and day. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Part 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful rose quartz. There's a sense of kind of getting round to something. Maybe you've put the idea of finding love on the back burner. It's not really been something that's been very important to you. You've been more concentrated on self-love, on how you really give love to yourself. And yeah, you're not really concerned with other people. You're just focusing on what your own needs are right now. Maybe that's the thing. You're actually finding out like what your own needs are first before you continue. Yeah, because I don't know if you can see that there. You might just about be able to see it there. Possibly. There's just these little flecks of like luminescence that come in. So it's almost like you're trying to find out what works for you. Be a curious creature. Oh, I love this. Come on, look at that. So cute. So yeah, it feels to me like there's a real sense of discovery that's going on. You're just trying to like find out what's happening with you first of all, before you like really consider what it is that others are, how you can kind of satisfy yourself before you really think about others coming into your life, be that friends, be that partners, however. Jupiter. Yeah. Really good, actually. Part 3, I think you're really understanding how, you know, how this is going to like really work for you. In that, you know, if you want to have others in your life, how do you want them to fit into your life? And not only that, you're also looking at how you can fit into others' lives as well. Affection, interesting, it's reversed. Is it affections? Affections. I mean, obviously we do have the actual meaning of the word, but I do want to just have a quick look at what that is in relation to the palmistry. So there are actually the lines that appear on the hand here. Like, can you see? So they're just there on that part of the hand, like here. They're purely indicative, and they show the hearts you've touched. Interesting. Right. So what I'm getting from this is that there's just opportunities to be able to be more connected with others. And it's almost like you have a really good ability to show yourself self-care and self-love. But now is the chance and the time for you to express that love to others now, pile 3. Maybe you've been on your own, like for a really long time, and you know exactly what to do for yourself. Like, you understand what it is that you need. You may even feel like you don't even need anyone. And that's really nice. That's really nice. But I've got a feeling that if you you're watching this video, and you know, being with others is a very important thing. So if that's the case, then yeah, you may need to extend out your ways of self-love and your good fortune in terms of the way that you behave towards yourself with others. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry about that shake. We have the 10 of Swords. The Empress. It's so awful we've got to cover these up. I think it's ridiculous. And the 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, well, that's pretty clear. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Not really needing to do that much work. Empress in reverse. 10 of Cups in reverse. There's some quite deep unhappiness here, pile 3. If that isn't how you're feeling now, then that's probably how you were feeling previously. But the Empress is, when she's reversed, she really isn't a nice person to be around. 10 of Cups would say to me that, and it's being reversed, it's almost like a space of like really deep misery, particularly with 10 of Swords as well, and the Queen of Pentacles in reversed. Now, I would also say that for some of you, this is because of a maternal figure that's been in your life that may not have really expressed a sense of love to you. And maybe this has been like a major aspect in terms of how you approach love with others. There is exceptionally beneficial energy here. I'm seeing with the Jupiter and being a curious creature. But I think some of you, I really do feel like some of you have been used to living on your own, to doing your own thing, that you've actually become quite isolated, and that you're just, you know, yeah. You may be saying to me, Reena, I don't really care about anybody in my life, really. And I don't really care for anybody to be around. But if that was the case, you wouldn't be watching this reading. So, yeah, I think there is some definite kind of something from the maternal side that's causing a sense of... I see the Queen of Pentacles as the queen that has everything. Like they have, like, you know, they've got the car, the money, maybe the ideal family life, but they are just so unhappy. Very unhappy. And it almost seems like there's a lack of, like, it could be that this is a place of privilege, and where there's an expectation to be happy for either the reason of, like, the fact that you've worked hard and you've gotten to a certain position and you've gotten to a certain place, and you believe that that's, you know, you believe that you should be happy because you've achieved all of those things. But it doesn't seem that way. And then the other side is that you come from a sense of privilege, but you're not happy because there seems like a real emotional lack here. So, a little bit deeper, this pile, than the others. There's a lot more going on with this one than the other two piles. How does pile 3 find love for themselves? Justice. Lovely, I love that. Pile 3, I am tired, but not as tired. It's interesting. And we've got the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. You know, this reminds me of something that I learned in my coaching training. That when someone is holding up their defenses, we did it as if, like, you know, you would be holding up like a piece of paper or your hands up like that. And the effort that it took for you to keep your hands held up for so long it left you exhausted. So that's what I'm sensing now, that you are tired of having to kind of like hold this kind of barrier up. And what's happening now is that you're trying to assimilate whether or not you do want something now. I don't know, there may have been some kind of awakening or something. Or maybe you're starting to realize that actually you do want more. I think you've settled for the less in the past, and now you're thinking, actually, I want a lot more, like, I want something different. And you definitely don't want to give up. Like, I think that's what it is. You don't want to give up. You don't want to give up on the world, and you don't want to kind of shut it out. You don't want to do that. You want something different. The Knight of Swords, you know, you're doing everything you can to kind of like go forward and do something about this. Okay, let's have a look what the Ten of Cups has to say. Quite a lot by the looks of things. There's a lot of distraction, you know. Right now, my next door neighbours have got their kids screaming next door, and it's quite late, like, for a child to be, for that to be happening with a child. So it's just interesting. There's just a lot of background noise. Maybe you're keeping yourself busy with something. 6 of Cups. Interesting. So I think there's also like a yearning for the past. a yearning for a past experience, or maybe you believe that you've had the best. Very interesting. Okay, let's do some more cards. What I'm noticing here, right, pile 3, more so than the other cards, yours is very much it's almost like it feels like a trauma response. That's what it feels like. It feels like something that's because of something that happened within the depth of the past. And also because we've got the Knight of Swords here, I feel like there is like reactionary kind of like quite impulsive reactions that have happened that have caused this kind of like almost like an alienation, I feel. Because I'm getting someone here who's really lovely, but there's just something here where they've been really used to coping on their own. And I'll be honest with you, like it reminds me of like how people talk when they're talking about dating, and about how they don't really want to date anymore because they're quite happy being with themselves. But you really know that they would love to be, they don't want to be single, basically. So that's what it feels like. And I don't mean this just in the respect to being in a romantic relationship. I'm talking about going out and making friends, being social, doing that kind of thing. This feels like before, like you cannot be bothered, but there has been something that's awoken within you that's made you realize that you can't continue in this way because you actually yearn for something even bigger and more. So we've got Mars and Jupiter. Something's definitely pulling you. You're being driven towards that. You're being driven towards it. It's actually really important for you to seek other people, to seek something that is outside of yourself currently, because you just don't seem to be getting the answers you want. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you do really feel that there is something missing. So for you to like move beyond that, for you to move beyond it, I think it's really important to remember that you have to remember to live in the present moment. And this is all meant to happen exactly how it's supposed to be. It was supposed to go this way around. You were supposed to go through this kind of like journey of understanding that you maybe wanted more than what you currently had. And I think you might not have gotten to this point if you didn't experience the things that you did previously. So I think it's important that you've gone on the journey that you have. But I also think it's important for you to remember that, you know, there is hope, regardless of whether or not you think you've got like just that thing or those things. There is hope. Like have faith in humanity. That's what I'm trying to say. Have faith in others. Wow, Melania Trump. Oh my God. Okay, so we've got, you never know when you might wake up next to a president. Don't betray yourself in favor of your marriage. Keep your friends close and your family closer. That's it. That's really interesting. That's really like trumped me. No pun intended. Melania Trump. It's so interesting because in this particular reading I've got someone in mind, and this person, it does kind of resonate with this figure. Somebody who has to put on a certain set of airs and graces and keep a particular face on in public so that they are not seen a certain way. And also fraternizes with, you know, or who seeks to fraternize and be around people of high status. So there's there's a thing here. Like it's kind of contractual. The love life is more of a job. This is not about love. This is about duty, you know? That's what I get a feeling of. I can't imagine she married him because she loved him. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Don't come for me. But yeah. I mean, it's just interesting, isn't it? Don't know. You'll have to let me know a bit more, Part 3, because I don't know. This has got me a little stumped, this reading. Well, no, not really. It's just not easy. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze then. So I just stopped the video. Wow, magic mushrooms, eh? Miracles, fairy energy, open up, stay open to all the beautiful and good things. And it's interesting because we have the devil. So 15 is the devil. Stay open to all the good and beautiful things. So, I mean, you know, I think you feel fine being this kind of like stoic figure. This kind of person that is doing their thing. But what is kind of being said here, and there's also like this sense of nostalgia as well that's kind of being lived in. And I feel that it would be really beneficial for you to make sure that you are doing what you can outside of that, rather than you just kind of sticking within your own boundaries. And even though you've got like, and it just seems, and it's interesting because like obviously I don't think, well, not obviously, but I don't feel like Melania Trump is really known for her generosity with charities and stuff like that. I'm sure she does totally, like, you know, support charities and things like that, because most people who are in those kind of high positions do, but it's not what she's known for. She's known for being being Trump's wife. So it's just, I feel there's kind of more importance that's being placed on status rather than actually people. And it's just interesting because we're doing something that's about bringing more love into your life, in whatever way that is and whatever that needs to. So I think what it's saying here is that even though you have been exceptionally fortunate, there's something about you opening up to be able to for new things. There has been some really beautiful things happening, but there is this kind of like underlying sense of unhappiness. So for you to like alleviate that, I think you really need to have a look at like what is it that you truly are looking for, and what is it that you really desire. Do you really want to wake up next to a president? Or do you agree with don't betray yourself in favour of your marriage? You know? Something to think about. Part 3, this has been an interesting reading. I hope you liked it. Hope it proved useful to you. Absolutely not your typical love reading. It wasn't a love reading, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyway, if you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye.